Welcome to Last Men Standing. We are live back at Circa in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm here with Jason Lisk from Pool Genius. As you can see on his attire right there, that's nice and handy. It almost looks like a graphic on the screen. That's sharp. That works. We're going to talk a little Survivor pool strategy in general. Jason's going to tell you a little bit about Pool Genius. Looking forward to this conversation. And then remember, about an hour from now, we've got 49ers beat writer Grant Cohn. We're going to ask him about the trouble spots for the 49ers this season. But Jason, if you can just get us started, when did you first start to kind of fall in love with Survivor pools?
I mean, to be honest, I've been with Pool Genius since 2000, and I had played a lot of other contests, and I had never really gotten into Survivor. I played, bracket pools, all sorts of NFL handicapping pools, confidence pools, because I always had in my mind, you just pick one game, it's somewhat simple, blah blah blah.
Yep. Straightforward.
And then when I got to our site and started reviewing it, just fell in love. And the last several years, I play a ton of entries. Like last year, I probably had 50 to 100 in play at various a lot of them at small dollar amounts, up through the mid mounts and above. I just play a wide range, but I do it like the last 5 years a lot.
Nice. I like that. What would be maybe a couple, I like asking people this question because everybody's got sort of different angles. What would be a couple tips that you have for beginner Survivor pool players who are just getting into this for the first time?
Yeah, I think the main thing is you want to focus on read your rules. Every pool can be different. I mean, the basic one is, week 18, one pick at a time, right? But at least in our data with the people that subscribe to us, close to half of them do not play in a pool that is that simple, right? They either have a multi-pick week element, like the Circa has the holiday weeks. Other pools have, let's say, you got to make 2 picks every week after week 12 until the contest ends, or week 14. Strike pools, you get to stay alive, you get a loss.
The rebuys,
right? Rebuys are a variation of a strike where you got to pay to get back in. Strikes, you stay in automatically.
Yep.
Different amounts of strikes. Buys. Some pools give you a buy, and you get to choose when you want to basically skip ahead. There's strategy to that. So all sorts of stuff. Fun strategy. So read your rules because those impact how you should make your picks. You should be riskier in strike pools than you are in non-strike pools to save future value, because not only do you get to survive if you take one loss, but the contest is going to go deeper because everybody can take one loss. So you have to have teams for win.
Makes sense. And so you've been playing these Survivor pools for a while. I can tell you're passionate about it because I can hear it in your voice as you're talking. So these are my people. These are my people who love Survivor pools. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is this going to be your first year signing up for Circa Survivor?
Yeah, I've been part of an entry in the past, but first year officially. I was working in the background and giving advice. And even last year we had people reaching out to us. We know we have subs that were in the contest late. That were just, hey, what do you think potential paths are? And that kind of thing.
So first year with a Circa Survivor entry in your name, how are you feeling about it? We're a couple weeks away from the season starting. What emotions are you stuck on week one? Like, just walk me through your mentality right now.
Yeah, week one's always tough. Like, you could be out in this contest right away, and this week one is not going to be friendly. I don't think. There's so many. I don't think there's an A+ pick in week one this year by any means. And so you're going to just have to go with a pick you can be comfortable with, I think, and hope it gets through and you can get into the contest.
Absolutely. That's sage advice there from Jason, who's been doing this for a little bit. Any teams on this week one board that let me ask the question this way, that you think a lot of people will be on that you will not be on?
I haven't decided how to play this week one completely.
Have you decided and you don't want to share and give away your strategy, or do you really not know?
No, I think you need to take I'm a big proponent of we play our opponents too. I mean, obviously you need to get through the contest. You need to take a route that makes sense to survive 20 weeks, which is a long shot for anybody, but you got to give yourself the best shot. But you also want to try to read how other people are doing it. And so I think the biggest things is trying to get a read on just how popular Denver's going to be, how popular Arizona is going to be relative to like a normal pool. Like when I say a normal pool, I mean getting data from Yahoo, getting data from ESPN, like how people are picking in those contests versus how they'll do in Circa. Because I think Arizona is a great play in, say, a really large pool. If I'm in a $25 entry playing on a site, and I think Arizona is a great play for future value savings. Will they get steamed up in Circa? I don't know.
And for people who don't know, of course, one of the big differences with Circa is that you have these holiday teams. Thanksgiving and Christmas are pulled out into separate weeks. So that is why you're seeing, well, and it's a little sharper pool, I would argue, at Circa as well. So that's why you're going to see a much different selection percentage in Circa compared to, like you said, Yahoo, ESPN, et cetera.
Yeah, and then you got Washington, who plays on Christmas, right? And at least right now, you would project them as the slightly biggest favorite, I think, ahead of a home Kansas City versus Denver. Washington versus Dallas is one of only 3 games on that slate.
Yeah.
The other one besides Kansas City, Denver is Detroit, Minnesota. So, I mean, you have basically, 5 playoff teams in action, plus the Cowboys.
And then you got Philly
on Thanksgiving.
Philly, Chicago on Thanksgiving. And I
Yeah.
think that one, I've been talking about this game all weekend because I am so friggin' interested to see the selection count on Philly for week 1 because you can rebuy if you lose, but they do have a very strong position on Thanksgiving. I think there's a lot of people this year in Circa, right or wrong. We had Derbify on our show the other day who was like, I hate this. Right or wrong, there are people signing up for Circa to make a profit and not necessarily to win this thing. And if that is your angle, you take the Eagles week 1 potentially.
Right.
You sell your entry after week 5, even though it's not in the best place for Thanksgiving anymore. And I think that could make the Eagles a little more popular than some people think, even though they play on Thanksgiving. So I think that's going to be interesting.
It could, and that's something to read, but those are the other options. So, and then you got the Bengals. I think those are the 5 that are going to be the most popular.
Yep.
The order could shift, though.
Sure.
And the holiday factor is going to impact the Eagles in some way. I don't think they're not going to be 20%. There may be some percentage below that.
Yeah.
Washington, what will they get to? How many will want to save them? What are they going to look like? Like, that's the other question. Like, as I think about Washington, I want to see what the quote vibes and the line movement is as we get closer to that game, because we don't know who's playing in that game for Washington yet. Is McLaurin going to be like Chase last year and questionable to play because he still wants that contract? Or is that resolved?
Who's the Giants quarterback going to be? Are we sure it's Russell? Because Jackson Dart looks damn good in the preseason. I mean, is there a chance?
There's lots of questions in that game.
Yeah.
That could go either way. Because I could make an argument you can use Washington if you think they're going to be too extreme chalk on Christmas. Go ahead and use them, and just make sure you save Kansas City for it. That's I think if you do that you're like almost committing to that.
But if you save Kansas City plays on both. So if you save Kansas City for one holiday, that's one less team you have for the other holiday.
And that's the argument to not use Philadelphia or Washington. You limit your optionality right away.
Absolutely.
Whereas you could save them, get to week 8, and then make that decision. Like, do I want to use Philly? Right. Mid-season based on how things are shaping up. When they play the Giants or something. But if you do use them right away, you've committed almost. I need to save Kansas City.
Yep, absolutely. Jason, let me ask you, correct me if I'm wrong, you wrote this?
Yes, we worked on that. That's a Circa Survivor strategy guide that has QR codes in there. I went through last year's winners.
Okay.
I went through last year's winners. I talked about what we did. Like, we all do content. I was projecting like weekly pick rates last year. And this has strategy, not only your basic strategy, but I talked about things like playing multiple entries, playing for the secondary market, like how's that going to impact things? Thinking about playing in a sharper pool, because Circa, is there dead money in every contest? Yes. There's less of it in Circa.
The no picks are really dead money. Literally dead money.
and anybody that picks against themselves in week 1, don't do that. Don't put 2 picks on the outside of the same game when entries are 1,000 each.
Right.
But there are less of it. Like you play in a $50 pool. There's going to be people forget that they're even in the pool by week 4.
Sure.
And so, just keep that in mind. It's a sharper pool. How do you play that? I think there's second order, like this is the obvious public pick. A portion of Circa will avoid them for that reason. Do they then become actually an okay play because they won't get steamed?
I was making the argument for that could be the case for the Bengals because people might be so afraid of the Bengals because of the documentary Quest for 14.2 million that highlighted the devastation from the Bengals. And not just that, but the Bengals' recent history. We just talked about in the last show. I think it was 1-6 straight up for Zach Taylor in his last 7 week 1 games. That's going to scare some people away. Joe Burrow's playing in the preseason, though.
Yep.
So maybe things are different this time around. We'll see.
I think everybody's susceptible to some of that. I think Circa less so than we see in like your average pool.
Good point. Yep.
But we definitely see like part of an edge you gain in survivor pools is being willing to look stupid. And I mean that in the sense, I'm going to make this pick that everybody says like they're avoiding the team that lost 2 in a row, but is a 7-point favorite and heavy on the 7-point favorites won 2 in a row.
Sure.
Well, that's recency bias. And if the market's saying they're both 7 points, you're getting an edge if you're on the team that's like 10% owned relative to the other favorite.
Sure.
So being willing to like, oh, this team struggled early, I'm going to be on them. If the narratives are driving people away, that's where you get the edge to create some value. I don't know if that's the case in this game, but it does happen, right?
Absolutely.
We definitely see that with like recent results, recency bias, narratives around teams, that kind of stuff where you get value if you're willing to. We can talk road teams, we could talk division games. The data does not necessarily support that you should avoid road teams, but a lot of people do.
Right. So, week 1, though. So this is interesting. You are absolutely right for big favorites in survivor pools over the last several years. Week 1, though, it's different.
Yes.
Week 1 division, big favorites in division are not so good compared to out of division week 1. And that's since 2020. I just wrote an article over at Survivor Atlas on that. So you could argue that's too small of a sample size. It's only since 2020. That could be what's going on there. Or maybe there's something about week 1 when you splash in that uncertainty with the division dog situation that makes it a little different. I don't know. That's for you guys to debate and for you guys to decide.
Well, and I did something similar, not on division, but I looked at week 1 factors, new coach, quarterback situation. Did this before last year. It's definitely true that like, because at Survivor, you want to reduce variance, right? If you're on the favorite, you want less uncertainty.
Yes,
like,
that's the name of the game.
And unfortunately, that's what week 1's all about. It's nothing but uncertainty, right? We don't know how good we think we know. We're less certain who's good.
Yep.
And so that's the backdrop. But a lot of that uncertainty comes from the fact we got new coaches, we got new QB situations. So when I pulled those out, there was higher variance and thus more upsets when the dog had both a new coach and a new quarterback situation.
I think back to
the reduced variance were in cases where both factors were the same for both teams. So if you can find a favorite and a dog who have the same coach, same quarterback, maybe the line's lower, but there's probably less variance. Like we're probably getting the correct favorite.
Yeah. I think back to Brian Dable, his rookie year when he was a rookie coach. I know the Giants had a big upset. I don't remember who it was against.
Was that Tennessee? Maybe.
That's maybe. Yeah, that's perhaps. But yeah, that was a big upset that year that not a lot of people saw coming. But and I don't remember. I think it was Tennessee, and they were favored by 5 or 6 in that one. So, anyways, good conversation, Jason. Appreciate you taking the time today. Any other? Oh, before we go, tell folks why they should go to Pool Genius and check you guys out.
Well, we do a variety of sports. So we have NFL, we have pick'em contests, confidence pool, spread pools, weekly, season long. We have survivors where you can input all your pool rules and get like advice for up to 30 entries across a bunch of pools. March Madness, golf one and dones. So we have a variety of products, and football is, of course, one of the big drivers and one of our favorites. Survivor pool tools, we have Optimal Path, which will chart your way through the season optimally, season planner tools, EV calculators, all that. So we have all that stuff. But yeah, we give customized advice for your pool. So I may be in the same pool as you. I have 30 entries, but you're also in 5 different pools than me. We may be in the same pool and get different advice for that pool, that pick, because it's balancing my recommendations across my 30 entries, and it may tell me, oh, use 3 of them on this team and splash 1 of them in this pool, and you don't get that same recommendation because you're playing a different number of entries. Does that make sense?
Yep, absolutely. Customized.
So it's actually good in that sense, is you can play against other Pool Genius subscribers who may not be on the same picks. Just nice. You're using the same like theory and logic, but you're not going to be on the same path.
Very cool. Very cool. Obviously, if you're still at Circa, stop by their table here and get one of these. Is there a way, like, can people get these in the mail, or is this electronic?
There is an ebook at our site. Yeah.
Okay.
There's an ebook download.
Sweet.
It's free. You just got to put your email, and you'll get the ebook download. Sweet. That's in there. And look, we'll be listening to your show. I'll be doing a weekly Circa show where I project the numbers.
Nice.
Kind of what I think.
Predicting what the Saturday numbers will be?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
And I'm going to be studying not only last year, but as this year rolls on and adjusting to how people are picking this year, because every contest is different. We saw different behavior with 14,000 people than we did a few years ago with 4 or 5, right?
Absolutely.
And so we're going to do our best, and we're going to keep adjusting to it.
Absolutely. Very good. And before we go, guys, a couple updates here. 8,725 are signed up. The guys at Circa have been on it today. I mean, they're on it all the time, but we've got like 4 updates. Since
yesterday, I think.
1,000 in the last 24 hours, which is phenomenal. Also want to make sure and give a shout out to 2 of our sponsors on this show, Race Oracle. If you're into horse racing, make sure and check out Race Oracle. Here are a couple screenshots here. This is what the folks over at Race Oracle do. You put in your customized bankroll based on Kelly criterion. They give you the optimal bet size for a particular horse in a particular race. They've got all the tracks in the U.S., as well as other countries like Ireland as well. And they give you, because of AI, they give you, I'm pointing at the screen. You guys can't see me point, silly me, but they give you the recommended probability that that horse is going to win. So make sure you check out Race Oracle over at raceoracle.com. And as well, Survivor Sweat. We love these guys. They've been our sponsor 2 years in a row. If you are coming to Circa from out of state, you will need a proxy. Unless you're planning on camping out here in Vegas for 18 weeks, you're going to need a proxy in order to participate in this contest. They are the best in the business. They have been my proxy for the last couple of years. Make sure and shoot them a text, and they'll take care of you. And it's a very seamless process. But reach out to them, and they'll get you in the Circa Survivor contest, or you can go on their marketplace and buy entries as well. Any last thoughts here as we sign off a couple weeks away from the start of the season? I tell you what, Jason, the Sunday of week 1 is my favorite day of the year.
It is.
It's for me personally, it's better than Christmas. It's better than my birthday. That Sunday is special because of what you mentioned.
Yeah.
All that unpredictable, the uncertainty. We get answers that day, and it's a lot of fun. Where are you going to be watching the games week 1?
Well, I'll be in Kansas City. I won't be out here. I'll be in the Kansas City area where I'm from. I will be
at home though, or
hopefully,
okay.
Yes. Because, I do have kids that play sports, so I'm hoping the sports schedule lines up, and I'm not watching on my phone at a soccer field for part of the day.
That's relatable for a lot of people out there, I bet.
If I don't have a sports event to be at, I will be watching at home. And track. There's nothing like the witching hour of that first day when hopefully your Survivor entry isn't the one down a touchdown with 4 minutes left.
Yes.
Hopefully you're rooting against the one you didn't pick. But,
absolutely.
But yeah, that is such an awesome experience. Love having the ticket open, having all those games.
Yeah.
And just watching the chaos.
Absolutely. Maybe Carnage week 1. That remains to be seen. Thank you guys for listening. Again, we'll be back in 36 minutes with Grant Cohn, 49ers beat writer, and we'll talk about spots to use and not use the 49ers this year in Survivor pools. Thank you so much. Take care, guys.